Hey everyone, this is Steve at the DJ Lab. This video is for all the DJs that have never used a CDJ-3000 before. You've used controllers, you're using Serato, and you're going to show up at the club, and I'm going to give you a super quick crash course on how to use a CDJ with a V10, and don't let all the buttons and knobs get you all scared. I'm going to make this super simple. Right off the bat, I did a previous video showing you how to get your Serato playlist onto a stick. So we've done that. This is easy stuff, man. Play, pause. That's it. See this where it says vinyl, jog mode? That's something you might not have seen before. If you're on jog mode, this is going to pitch bend. You won't scratch. You got to be on vinyl to scratch. So make sure this is vinyl. You got your play. You got your cue button, just like you'd expect that you're going to put a cue. This will search through the song. This will skip to your next track, back to the previous track. Well, because I got to wait for this to analyze. But anyways, while we're waiting for that, you've got your direction button. You're probably not used to this. This is a slip reverse, and that's the reverse. If you don't know how to use this, I would suggest don't even play around with it. Your beat jump. You can beat jump. And if you look at the top here, where it says beat jump, you can set your beat jump value. So say you want 64, and now you can get it, jump it how you want it, right? You want to do a 4-bar loop, you hit a 4-bar loop. You got your in and your out. You want to exit that loop, you press that button to exit the loop. You want an 8-bar loop, there's your 8-bar. Exit out of it. These are all your hot cues. Your cue, loop call, all of that, and the memory, we're not even going to bother getting into that stuff because you don't really need it. You got your slip mode, you got your quantize, two important things to have. There's a SD card. I would suggest if you're going to move things over and you have an SD card slot in your computer and you have an extra SD card that's fairly quick, use that. You never know when that slot, when the USB port might be a little bit loose on some of these club players, right? You got your time mode. You're pressing this, it tells you how much time is remaining or how much time you've played. You press and hold that button. You see what just happened there on the player? Press and hold that again. Auto cue. When that happens, and you switch to the next track, when that's off, when it doesn't say auto cue, what's going to happen is if you're playing and you jump the track, the next track's going to play. Make sure it says auto cue, or that'll mess you up. You got up here, there's your source to see what drive you're using, right? Your browse, you can browse through all your stuff. Tag list, you don't need to worry about the tag list. You don't need to worry about your playlist stuff either. Search, if you want to do a search for a track, chances are you know what you've got. There's no need to have to search. Then your menu, there's your previous tracks you played. You press and hold that, you get into all this other stuff. No need to jump around into all of that, honest to God. This is supposed to be quick. It's your back button. We're going to go browse. You hit that browse again. Now we're back to our tracks, right? You can do tag, your shortcut. If you want to change the color of things, RGB, 3-band, or blue, that's about it. You can set your beat jump value right here as well too. If you want to do that in advance, adjust your brightness. Things you don't totally need. And then you could have a waveform, or you can have your phase meter. But you can do that right up there too. Just by touching there, you can have that phase meter or the waveform on the other deck. What else can we do real quick here? Your jog adjust. This will adjust the tightness of the wheel. There's your beat sync, your master. You got your tempo to change. You see where it's showing right there? I'm changing +6, +10, +16, or wide. Chances are you're going to be on +6. Obviously, that is your tempo slider. Your master tempo will make sure that when you adjust the tempo, you're not adjusting the pitch of the song. It's not making it sound like a chipmunk or Darth Vader, right? Yeah, that's about the quick one that I can do on the V10. Let me just say it's simple as well too. If you're used to using any Pioneer controllers, this should be pretty easy. That's your effects. On and off is for your effects. Your level depth up here is where you're going to select what channel you want your effect on, right? You can select the frequency that you want the effect. Do not do low. Mid, high is pretty good. for most things. And there's all your effects. Some of them are going to be familiar from using Serato or using Rekordbox. If you're using controller, some of them will not be. If you're not familiar with an effect, do not use it. Up here you have a master isolator. This is like a 3-band EQ, more or less, for the master. Don't really play around with this unless you feel it's a bar or something that you need a little bit more mid or a little bit more bass. But other than that, you can kind of leave it alone. Your master level for your volume, make sure you're not clipping things. Master filter, and you can have master beat effects, of course. Under here, you see the Q, you got A, B. A, B. 2 headphones. Chances are you're only going to be using one of them, so pick the one you want. All the send return stuff here, right? All those knobs, make sure they're all the way down. I wouldn't even get into that. If you don't know about send returns and delays and all that, you're going to train wreck your whole set. Leave that alone. Watch a video later on if you want to get more familiar with that stuff. Same with all of that. For your headphones, you got your Q, your master, your volume. That's all you really need to know. Mono split, if you like it like that, chances are you probably won't. Your filters. This is something you're going to really need to know. They're not 12 o'clock like most things. You got a low pass, your resonance, minimum, maximum. Start off at the middle. Don't go too much or it's going to sound crazy. And you turn your filter up. High pass, turn your filter up. It's not like you're used to. So if that's a little weird to you, maybe leave it alone too. Stick straight with just bring a track in, bring a track out. Bring a track in, bring a track out. EQs. You only got kills on the low and on the high. You have a high mid and a high and a low mid. They're not kills. So you can't EQ mix like you're used to doing. So that's why I suggest, you do a lot of fader kind of blends until you get the hang of a 4-band EQ. If you use the mic, there's your microphone. You got your beat effects to turn on. You click your mic on. There's a talk over. You got your trims on the top. You have these compressors. You don't need to use compressors much on digital tracks, but I might have them up a little bit. Do they help? Maybe, yes, no. On vinyl, they definitely will, which leads us to the top. This is where you're going to select everything. Chances are it's already set where it needs to be. Other than that, there's some, your USB multi-in and stuff. If you're playing around with iPads and RMX-1000s and stuff, you probably don't need to bother with this. This is supposed to be the simple video. Your crossfader, make sure you set it where you need it. If you're not going to use the crossfader, set them all through so you don't accidentally knock this one side to the other and ruin your mix. Okay, that's about as fast as I can do this. If you need more details about the V10, there's lots of videos out there by me and others that you can watch. This is supposed to be just a quick crash course on getting your set going on a CDJ-3000 and a V10 in a club. From Serato DJ, of course. Talk to you all soon.